What happened to Haitel, Valdini?
So I mean, based on what I know, so ITEL they owed so much, so that it was the first Haitian telecommunication international before Natcom, before Digicel, before Comcel, Voila, and everything. It was, I think it was a market leader. So this was literally Eddie's first mobile, and then they went to bankruptcy because the way they went to bankruptcy is that they never updated. So they never adjusted to the market, and then once they had the competitors, the numbers are there. So and then they had to declare bankruptcy. Yeah, they definitely fell down.
It all fell down. But Jonathan, what can you tell us about Haiti? Like, give us a little background on Haitel, because I know you guys remember Haitel.
I mean,
you guys, remember, I'm very young.
We are the same age. We're not disclosing our age, but I will not take this slander. We are the same age.
For everyone listening, I'm not.
All right.
I have a question before we dive any deeper into this. Any of you ever had an Haitel phone?
I was too young to have Haitel, but I remember what?
Valdini, you had an Haitel phone?
What?
Not a mobile phone, but there was a landline.
It was a landline. It was the home landline. But
yeah, I had the landline.
Anyway, that's good to know. But hey,
where are you going with this? Where are you going with this?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not saying anything.
No, I know that little.
Hey, for those who did not grow up in Haiti and who never heard about Haitel, or maybe were too young at that time to know about Haitel, Haitel was Haiti's first telecommunication company, right? Haitel was founded by an Haitian American businessman named Frank Sidney, and he was a former executive at MCAD WorldCom, and they launched in March 1999 as Haiti's first mobile carrier. So let's say the first Verizon or AT&T, I don't know which one was the first in the US, but that was the first mobile carrier system of phone.
It was a pioneer,
right? Yeah. It was Haitel. So the first possibility that people had to have a mobile phone in Haiti, it was through Haitel. So you can tell already when Haitel came, Haitel was the deal. Haitel was Haitel before Digicel, Natcom, Comcel. Why Haitel was it back then? Okay, and what happened is Haitel did a lot of investment. They built towers to have a system, everything. Right? They were literally the only mobile option in Haiti for a few months, or maybe for a few months, and then
Comcel. Wait, you're talking about the earthquake?
No, I'm talking way before the earthquake. Like,
no,
like
way
when
before.
The process started.
Haitel had a good 4 years.
Because it was like 1999 and then 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
I would say between them and Comcel, they had around 500,000 subscribers. So I would say 500,000 people with the landline or the service. That was, again, the first mover. Everything was hot. And then we know what happened in 2006. Digicel came around. Digicel came around with so many free perks. I know, and that's way after, I would say.
You probably had a Motorola.
Probably. Like, it was like, no, you remember those little phones that look like the deodorant bottles?
I don't.
That was the first phone.
Motorola that one.
Yeah. That was the first phone I had in 28.
Just a flex. 28. I had the flip phone, the Alcatel, the flip Alcatel.
Hello Motel.
Flip Alcatel. Yo, back in the day, that was it, guys. When you had a mobile phone, when Digicel came along, I think maybe 2007
and
or 8.
It shows in the numbers too, because 500,000 were shared between Comcel and Haitel, and then when Digicel came, they had a whopping 1.4 million.
Yeah, it's because Digicel
just like
was
right off the
offering
bat.
a lot of. I think in Haitel, for you to call me, I need to add minutes on my phone.
Yeah.
So when Digicel came along, you can call someone even if they don't have minutes.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that sold it. It's like even if I don't have minutes, you can call me, right, and I can answer, but I cannot call you back. That
I
was
mean,
So that can explain
I
also.
think
I wait.
Digicel.
I think that explains also why people back then didn't call each other. Cause listen, if you're gonna call me and I have to pay,
yo. We both
I mean,
paid.
I think also.
maybe we don't
I
need to
think
be
also.
talking like
Imagine that if I didn't even want to talk to you, you calling me and I'm
you
paying for
call
the
me and
call.
I
I
have
don't
to
even
pay.
want to be on that phone.
Maybe
I
maybe
know,
I don't
but
need to talk to you.
for real.
Let's
I mean,
write
if
to
I'm
each
being
other.
if I'm being serious, I think TCL killed it with two. This is very important for any people listening to us that wants to do a competitive advantage. So DGCL killed it with SMS and then Appel Moi. Appel Moi was so crazy because it's like you don't even have to call a person. You can just beep them and then Appel Moi. So like
It's
if
like
that
you
person,
you don't have credits, so you're not able to make a phone call, but you can send
yeah,
a text to that person and let them know, call me.
Call me.
yeah,
Guys,
call me.
the
It's
features
like
were crazy. Now that we're thinking about it, back then the features were crazy.
Dude, they had a thing where you can send 5 messages and you get 50, like,
Yo,
free.
I mean, it started 3 for 30, but
yeah, two for or
okay.
something like that. Yo,
It was like
SMS.
free.
Yo, those
And
were
after that,
those
yo,
were
the
things.
features, the
Those were
features
the
were
things.
off the
Those were the
chain.
thing. Another thing it was
So now we understand for DSL. So they exploded. They really took all the market. So guess what happens to
Yeah.
Haitel?
yeah, that's
Because if you're in a competitive market and you're bleeding cash,
yes. So since Itel was the first company, they did a lot of investment and they had a lot of subscribers. So they were able to jungle around, and take care of the market. But when digital came along with all those services at a cheaper price, and I think GSL was a bigger company because there were a lot of more investors, so they had more money. They were able to offer more services, and then people left ITEL and went to GSL. So ITEL didn't have as many subscribers, and then I think the 2010 earthquake came along, and I think that's when things got worse for ITEL because
oh
ITEL
yeah,
ITEL was actually one of the only phones or service carrier that was still working after the earthquake
yeah.
because their system were built like to resist to those type of things. But sadly, they didn't have the engineering system. They didn't have enough money for fuel. Similar to Spirit, who now is filing for bankruptcy or shut
So
down
fuel
because
runs
of
the
increase
world.
in fuel prices. So that was one thing that affected ITEL, and then you know what happened next to the
They
story.
never recovered from it. And I feel like the nail that basically in the coffin is that the tax debt fit him like completely finished them. They were having money the issues with fuel, and then to add on that, they owed the Haitian government 38 millions in unpaid taxes from 2006 to 2009. I gotta say, if you owe the Haitian government 38 million, you gotta start doing better with your finances. I'm sorry. And then um, that's just the Haitian government, 38 million, but their total debt was about 80 million. So in 2012, the courts they placed Aitel in basically in recovership, receivership. My apologies, and their assets were seized. Fluxine ended up being in a U.S. federal court in Brooklyn trying to recover 246 million worth of assets. So a company that started as 80s pride in telecommunication ended up in a courtroom in New York. So I feel like this is the same story as Spirit Airlines because just in Haiti's context, they were the first mover. Competitive disruption came up, debt piles up, disaster hit, assets were seized, company disappears. The same movie, the same story, but it's a different country. At the end of the day, I feel like it was a fuel problem. So fuel really we can say that they ran out of fuel just to be funny, but they ran out of fuel basically. What would you say to that, Joe?
I mean, basically, like we mentioned, with what happened with ITEL, it's similar to what happened to Spirit, right? It's big companies, first movers. Spirit was offering cheap services, Haitel was the first company in Haiti, and I think at that time they were offering the services at an affordable price because it's not something the country was used to. But when GSL came, bigger investment, being able to provide the services at a cheaper price, more services, more features and all that. So it makes it easier for people. And what happened, people left ITEL, went to GSL, and those are the things that happen. Those are how companies go bankrupt. It's like they don't have enough money to take care of their businesses, right? And they don't have enough money to pay taxes, and they were begging the government for bailout, right? And that's what we wanted to mention. And the system of if it is about to bail out companies when they are doing bankruptcies, filing bankruptcies, right? And we know we have Bear Ash in Haiti, right? Bear Ash is basically Haiti's central bank. They do regulate the banking system and have the minimum capital requirements to financial institution. But here's the reality: the three largest banks control over 80% of banking assets in Haiti. We have Sojibank, BNC. They are the largest financial institution in Haiti, right? So, which means even Bear Ash has the power, but it's not easy for them to provide or to regulate the market the same way that I will say the Federal Reserve can actually do that in the states, right? And it's important for people to understand that aspect of the business.
So, are we talking? So, are we definitely talking about having an oligopoly in Haiti?
Ooh.
I mean,
I
that's
mean, this is exactly what Jonathan said, though.
you raising a very important question.
So, but okay, so because it is very important, and in terms of bankruptcy, it is very important to avoid bankruptcy to not have oligopoly. Because once you have oligopoly, if couple of institutions fail, they fail together. So it's like that's not for a coincidence that there was the housing crisis in 2008, the Great Depression in 1929, and then I didn't want to say that, but that's not for a coincidence that the Chinese government is likely having a full control on the banking institutions. Because no, even I know you're raising your eyeballs, but it's like,
Listen, I'm letting you speak.
but no,
Keep it
no,
real.
no. So no, for real, as you said. So it's like it is important for you to have a control on the institutions, and I did like the fact that Jonathan mentioned the different banking institutions in Haiti, because that's the easiest way for us if we were to build a country that is sustainable in term financially speaking, to not have that little bank. Because every company, every banks that are trying to invest in Haiti, they have they are afraid. They are afraid to invest more because they don't want to be a new ITEL. So it's time for us to build the environment, the economic system, so that they know, yes, we can invest and we're not going to end up like ITEL.